Welcome back, guys. So in the last video we found we examined how to find the net acceleration of an object when some force is given to the first object, and what happens to the motion and the behavior of two objects. Now for all these videos, when I was explaining to you about the videos on the motion of two objects, when one is kept on the other, one on top of the other, and some force is given. Now the force was already given. Force was every time given to the top object, right? Now what if some force is given to the bottom object, right? So let's find out. I'll take a simple example, right? I'll take a mass like this, and another mass like this, and a plate like this. I'll take the mass of this object to be 5 kilograms. So its weight will be 5g acting downwards. This is 5g. And the mass of this object to be 10 kilograms, so its weight will be 10g acting downwards. I'll take this object as A and this object as B. Right, A and B. And the normal force on A is RA and the normal force on B is RB. This is RA and this is RB. Right? RB. Alright. And what it actually happens is that now where am I to put the friction? First of all, I will put the coefficient of friction or the frictional force between these two objects. Otherwise, it might be sometimes confusing to you. So here mu equals 0.25. Okay, mu equals 0.25, right? And I will give a force of say 20 newtons. Yeah, 20. Right, 20 newtons. So what is the acceleration of these two objects? If they are going as a composite, what is the acceleration of the composite? And if they are going individual, what are their individual accelerations? That's the question I am asking you. Now what happens, right? What happens when you have, now this is frictionless, right? This is frictionless. What happens when you have such a system? Alright. Now what actually happens is that now when you are given some force on the bottom object, this bottom object tries to move relative to the top object, right? So what actually happens is that this object will say, now I was in equilibrium. Hey, I was in equilibrium, right? So you try to break my equilibrium and make me an inequilibrium object, right? So what it actually happens was, now I started to move in. I started to make in equilibrium, and you are now traveling with some velocity. Now I didn't get that force, so I am in. You are in favor of something, but I am not in favor of anything, right? So that is the comment that the top object will give on the bottom object. So this top object will not bear this object to move like this. What actually happens is that top object will act force of opposition on this object so as to stop this object. So that will be the friction force between these two surfaces. So that is acting in this direction. F. I'll take it as FF because there is only one friction force, right? And according to Newton's third law, when you put some force on F like this, it has to be FF on this object as well. Because this object will not stay like this. You put a force on me, I will put a force on you. So the action and reaction are on the two objects. They are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Alright. So these are the two objects. So let's first calculate the value of FF. To calculate the value of FF, you need the value of RA. So for object A, I will put F equals MA in the vertical direction, upwards. So upwards, if we are putting for FA, for the object A, upward force will be RA and the downward force will be 5G. So it is RA minus 5G. and if there is no acceleration between for A in the vertical direction, A will be 0, so ma is equal to 0. So Ra, if I take G equals 10, Ra will be 50 newtons. Ra will be 50 newtons, right? So Ra equals 50 newtons. So if Ra equals 50 newtons, we can calculate the maximum friction force or the limiting friction force by putting Ff equals mu r for object A. For object A, I can say Ff equals mu r, mu Ra, right? So Ff is equal to mu is equal to, we have been given 0.25 and Ra equals 50. So this force will be 12.5 newtons. Right? So this force will be 12.5 newtons. Alright. So when you are considering the forces on these two objects, what happens? For A, you can see, for A, right, for A, only frictional force will be acting in this direction according to this free body diagram. Only frictional force will be acting in this direction. So frictional force of 12.5 will be acting in this direction. And if you are taking B, it's like this, right? 20 Newton force will be acting in this direction, and a force of Ff, which is 12.5, we just calculated. The force of 12.5 will be applied on this direction. So this will be 20 newtons, and this will be 12.5 newtons, right? So for A, I can put F equals ma in this direction because there is only one force. Right? For A, I can put F equals ma in this direction because there is only one force. So the force is 12.5. Mass has been given as 5 and acceleration 8. So A is equal to 12.5 by 5, which is 2.5 meters per square second. Right? For B, when you are considering B, what actually happens is the total force here is 20 newtons and the total force in this direction is 12.5. Now B can move, but the only thing is that now if you are considering FF, right? If you are considering FF, now FF is equal to 12.5 newtons. So what actually happens is that when this object is given, when B is given some frictional force, right? So B is given some applied force, right? When B is some force is applied on B, this object tries to move in this direction. So first of all, understand the scenario what is happening here. So B tries to move in this direction, but this force, this object A, is acting a frictional force in this direction, and due to that force, B is acting a frictional force on A on this direction. But the only values, right? If you consider, since you calculate the value of F equals ma, now F is actually not an applied force, right? F is not an applied force, F is a frictional force. So you calculate the acceleration of A due to the frictional force that is applied on A. So when you select A, excuse me, only frictional force was acting on A. There was no applied force on A. So the frictional force, due to the frictional force, A got an acceleration of 2.5 meters per square second. But according to your understanding, as I mentioned in the previous videos, there is a maximum value that frictional force can take. At that moment only, Ff is equal to mu Ra. So there is a maximum frictional force that A can get. So the velocity, the acceleration 2.5 meters per second can be written like this, right? F equals ma, right? Since F has a maximum value, you can say mass is a constant, whether you put 20 newtons or 30 newtons or any, even 1000 newtons, the mass is a constant. So maximum F, at maximum F, you get a maximum acceleration. At maximum F, you get a maximum acceleration. So A equals 2.5 meters per square second here is that the maximum acceleration A can get. Right? Now you calculate, now I will calculate the force, the acceleration of this object, right? I will calculate the acceleration of this object because it's important. Now if you calculate the acceleration of this object now. For these two objects to calculate, for these two objects to go, if these two objects are moving in as a single unit, they should have a common acceleration. But the bottom object has to travel at an acceleration that is less than or equal to the acceleration of this object. That's obvious, right? Suppose this object has an acceleration of 2.5. If these two objects are to be known as a moved as a unit, these two have a common acceleration, right? So we'll first find out the common acceleration, then I'll tell you what to do. So to find the common acceleration, the only force, here when you are selecting the total mass of the total as a system, FF will cancel to FF, so the only force that is applied is 20 newtons, that is on the bottom object. So if I are considering the whole as a whole, what is actually happening, right? What is actually happening is that the total force is 20 newtons, mass is now 10 plus 4, 14 kilograms, so the acceleration F equals ma for the total system. So this is 20, mass is 14 and the acceleration is a. So the acceleration is 20 by 14, which is equal to 5 by 7, so that is approximately equal to 0.7, right, meters per square centimeter, right? Oops, sorry, not 5 by 7. Sorry. A will be equal to 10 by 7, right? Not 5 by 7, 10 by 7, right? So 10 by 7 is equal to 1.73, 1.42, right? 1.42 meters per square centimeter, right? So as an objective, right, as the system to go, right, if the system goes as a unit, the maximum acceleration of the system, the acceleration of the system will be 1.42 meters per second. So the acceleration of the system, so you can say a system is less than a maximum, right? The system's acceleration is less than A's maximum acceleration. So these two objects, now what actually happens is that these two objects go at the same acceleration. At the same acceleration means these two objects are going as a unit, right? These two objects are going as a unit. So what actually happens is, now the object acceleration of A has been found as 2.5 meters per second. So the acceleration of B will be also 2.5 meters per second. Now if we calculate F equals ma to this object, you can calculate a different acceleration. You will calculate a different acceleration, but according to this theory, right, for this to happen, the acceleration of A to B is to be greater than the acceleration of the system. So in this occasion, this equation or this inequality is being followed. So this is true. So the object goes as a unit. So B's acceleration will also be 2.5 meters per second.